Hello, everyone. My name is Jolie Moore, and I am a junior here at Iowa studying civil engineering. I will be talking to you about the field of civil engineering and what our department offers, and then going a bit more in depth about the civil engineering major. You'll then get to learn more about environmental engineering from another student. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about our department. We find the field of civil and environmental engineering so fascinating, so we hope that you enjoy this presentation. Here at the College of Engineering, we have one department for both civil and environmental engineering majors. Although there is some course overlap, these are two separate majors and paths of study. Civil engineering is defined as designing, constructing, and maintaining the physical and naturally built environment, while environmental engineering is defined as creating solutions that protect and improve the quality of the environment. So, in the real world, civils and environmentals work side by side on a lot of projects. However, civils tend to deal with the built environment, while environmentals deal with the natural environment. Civil engineering has four main technical areas, which include transportation, water resources, structural, and environmental. There are many different concentrated disciplines that fall under the umbrella of these four branches, but I will talk about those later in the presentation. Environmental engineering dives deeper into the water resources and environmental technical areas that you saw on the last slide. So, if you are considering civil engineering, but you want to focus more on the natural world, then environmental engineering may be the place for you. I'm now going to talk a little bit about what type of impact you can have as a civil engineer in the real world, as well as give you a closer look at our major. As I mentioned before, there are many different disciplines and specialties that fall under those four technical areas. When people think civil engineering, most think buildings and bridges. And that brings us to our structures category. But the branch of structural engineering has many diverse applications. It's involved with designing not only bridges and buildings, but also tunnels, dams, towers, and turbines. Essentially, this branch focuses on designing the bones of man-made structures. Next is the branch of water resources and hydraulics. This branch is very broad and deals with the transport and use of water, as well as floodplain management, hydraulic structures, and addressing climate change. More specifically, water resource engineering focuses on providing clean, uncontaminated water by developing new equipment and systems for water resource management facilities across the world. Hydraulic engineering is mainly concerned with the flow of water and sewage. This discipline is related to the design of bridges, dams, and canals, and is also related to both sanitary and environmental engineering. Next up is transportation engineering, which is involved in the planning, design, operation, and maintenance of safe and efficient transportation systems. This includes road and highway design, transit planning, bridges, railways, waterways, and intermodal operations. Disaster management and mitigation is not necessarily a branch of civil engineering, but it is an ethical pillar for all that civil engineers strive to do. Civils play a crucial role in developing a safe environment and managing the effects of disasters when they do strike. In practice, civil engineers set design and safety standards, as well as design and construct infrastructure to prevent loss and decrease damage caused by natural disasters. Civil and environmental engineers can also be employed by government agencies such as FEMA to help manage the effects of these events. Here at Iowa, we allow students to choose an elective focus area, or EFA for short. EFAs pave a path in the curriculum that allows students to personalize their course load to best fit their career goals. Our most common EFA is civil practice. This track includes courses from all of the technical areas and is designed for students who wish to gain a broad background in civil and environmental engineering topics. Graduates with this EFA can find positions as consulting engineers or city engineers and do work in the many different areas of civil and environmental engineering. Our next EFA is Hydraulics and Water Resources. Typically, graduates with this EFA can find work in positions involving stormwater drainage design and floodplain mapping. Next, we have Structures, Mechanics, and Materials. Graduates with this EFA can find work in civil engineering positions involving structural design and construction. This EFA is also good preparation for students who wish to pursue graduate study in structural engineering. Next is Transportation. Graduates with this EFA can find work in positions involving traffic, pavement, and bridge engineering tasks. Our next EFA is Urban and Regional Planning. Graduates with this EFA can find work as consulting engineers or city engineers in planning positions. The EFA is also good preparation for students who wish to pursue graduate study in urban planning. Next up, we have Pre-Architecture. This EFA is designed to provide broad exposure to architectural history, studio art, and structural engineering, while also satisfying the requirements for an art minor. This EFA is great preparation for students interested in pursuing an advanced degree in architecture. Next, we have Management. This EFA is designed for students who wish to gain depth in business and management topics. Graduates with this EFA can find work in consulting or as a city engineer as they work towards a position in project management. This EFA also satisfies the requirement for a minor in business administration. Our next EFA is Environmental Engineering. This EFA is designed for students who wish to gain depth in environmental topics, but would still like to take civil engineering courses as well. Graduates with this EFA can find work in positions involving more environmental engineering tasks. Lastly, we have our Student-Tailored EFA. This EFA is designed for students who feel that their career goals don't align with one of the other EFAs. So it allows course customization to meet a student's individual career objectives. Pictured here are our Transportation and Structures faculty members. We have professors who specialize in all areas of the Civil and Environmental Department. So later in the presentation, you will get to see our other faculty members who specialize more in water resources and environmental engineering. We are one of the smallest departments here at the college. We stand just under 200 undergraduates. Last year, we had an 85% pass rate on the FE exam, even though the national average was only a 69% pass rate. 2 years ago, we actually had 100% pass rate, which we are super proud of. The FE exam is a test for seniors and recent grads to test their engineering knowledge, and it's generally the first step in the process of becoming a professional licensed engineer. We were also very proud of our 98% career placement rate within 7 months after graduation. The job market for civil engineering is bright. We have a projected 54,000 more job openings by 2022. We are also consistently ranked the #2 best engineering job, as well as the #1 least underemployed major, according to the U.S. News and World Report. To wrap it up, civil engineers bridge the gap between people and the environment and are a crucial part of our daily lives. As a civil engineer, it's amazing how many different ways you can impact our world. So, thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned something, and I will pass it along to Cameron.
Hello everyone, my name is Cameron Norton and I am a third-year student here at the University of Iowa. And today I'm going to be talking to you about environmental engineering here at the university. Let's start by looking at what environmental engineering is and where it came from. This discipline of engineering came from a need to improve sanitation system design and public health protection. Historically, these engineers would focus on supplying clean drinking water and effective wastewater treatment. In the 1970s, the term environmental engineering was coined as the field broadened to include the mitigation of pollution in air, water, and soil. Around the same time, the field's design approach shifted from a focus on engineered treatment systems towards a greater emphasis on ecological processes and principles. Now, in the 21st century, environmental engineering works to design solutions that protect our planet from negative human activities. In this day and age, it's vital that we create new and innovative solutions to protect our planet. In 2019, the National Academy of Sciences published a report outlining the 5 grand challenges that environmental engineers will face as the population climbs to 9.8 billion people by the year 2050, which will happen during our professional careers. And the 5 grand challenges that environmental engineers are going to have to work to solve are 1. Sustainably supplying food, water, and energy. Curbing climate change and adapting society to its impacts. Designing a future without pollution and waste, especially as our population continues to grow. Creating efficient, healthy, and resilient cities. And fostering a culture that makes informed decisions and actions. So here is an example of how environmental engineers are working to address these grand challenges. These pictures are from Gross Wind Technology, which is a company that is based in Slater, Iowa. And this company is using a system that takes algae and transforms it into fertilizer and bioplastic. And the way they are doing it is by using a system that takes rotating algae biofilms, and you can see those in the bottom right-hand picture. And these biofilms will rotate through nitrogen and phosphorus-rich wastewater. During the process, carbon dioxide is consumed by the algae and oxygen is produced. Then the nitrogen and phosphorus-rich algae is harvested and pelletized. The algae pellets are then used as fertilizers and bioplastics. So if any of the things we've talked about so far has sparked your interest, you may want to consider environmental engineering as a career path. At the University of Iowa, environmental engineering has been offered for a long time, but has been under the umbrella of civil, and recently it has split and now is offered as its own major. So as an environmental engineering student here at Iowa, you have the opportunity to take a lot of really interesting classes. Here's a taste of some of our major specific courses. You can see there's a wide range from solid and hazardous waste to water treatment and air pollution control technology, just to name a few. And environmental engineering students will have the opportunity to take those major specific courses and really tailor them to fit their own interests. The majority of environmental engineering students here choose the environmental elective focus area, where they can focus on classes that talk about remediation of contaminated water and soil, as well as emission and air quality evaluation. However, a lot of environmental engineering students also choose to incorporate the sustainability certificate that's offered here at Iowa into their elective focus area. Students also have the opportunity to create a tailored elective focus area. Some of those tailored EFAs could include public health or geology, things of that nature, but really whatever you are interested in. Environmental engineers, as well as civil engineers, have a lot of really awesome something more opportunities. On this picture, you can see in the top left-hand corner our Iowa Corn Monument, and that structure is completed every year for homecoming by our American Society of Civil Engineer Club, which is a club that environmentals often get involved in as well. It's really fun to see our civil and environmental engineers come together and make something really beautiful that the entire university gets to enjoy. On the top right-hand picture, you'll see a couple of our students, and they are competing in the concrete canoe race. And that is another activity that civil and environmentalists both get involved in. And they are tasked with creating a canoe entirely out of concrete. And believe it or not, the canoe floats, and then they take it up to a competition and race against other schools that have also built concrete canoes. In this particular picture, you'll notice there's quite a bit of duct tape holding the canoe together. It had some cracks, but was able to float, and they were able to successfully compete, which is super fun. In the bottom right-hand picture, you'll see some of our civil and environmental students. They are doing a site tour for the Stanley Art Museum, which they are currently building on campus. And then moving to the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see some civil and environmental students with Herky. They are all students who have participated in undergraduate research, which is something that is super common for our civil and environmental students. Students also have the opportunity to take their civil and environmental engineering around the world. A lot of students here at Iowa choose to participate in the India Winterim, and that study abroad is a 3-week trip to northern India where students learn how culture, economics, and environment shape the sustainability of water resources. And here is some of our incredible faculty in our civil and environmental department. All of these professors do research or focus on areas that include water resources and environmental design. You'll notice in the top left, Alan Bradley. He is actually the DEO of our department. He also is the professor that leads students on the India Winterim. Here are some quick stats about the Department of Environmental Engineering at Iowa. You'll see we have 54 undergrads, and 48% of them are female. And our department received a 85% pass rate on the FE exam last year, which was well above the national average of 69%. And as we all know, we are in college to get a job, so here are some companies that like to hire Iowa environmental and civil engineers. You'll see that civil and environmental engineers have the opportunity to work in a wide range of companies. Here are some municipal opportunities, including the Army Corps and different cities like the city of Barrington and the city of Iowa City. And they also have the opportunity to work for private consulting companies as well. Okay guys, that is all we have for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we will find an answer for you. In the meantime, best of luck with your college search. I hope you continue to look at the University of Iowa, but wherever you end up, I hope you can be a really awesome engineer. We need more problem solvers in our world today. So best of luck with your college search and go Hawks!